people repeatedly tell me, oh, I'm not interested in all that technical stuff. I don't need to know what the names of the wildflowers are. I don't need to know all that jargon. And you're right, you don't. But we'll start down the trail, and I can guarantee you, within the first 20 yards, their finger will go down, and they'll say, what's that wildflower right there? And so we're going to talk just a little bit about what the wildflowers are, some of the unique characteristics of the many wildflowers, and also maybe give you a chance of some idea of how you can go about figuring out what a wildflower is when you don't have somebody along to tell you. One of the more impressive wildflowers up here is a flower that we call, it's a member of the lily family. Its official name is Pudica infinitus, but it's more commonly known as either chocolate lily or checker lily. A close friend of mine and I have a lot of fun. He calls them chocolate lilies. I tell him no, they're not, they're checker lilies. We're both right. Officially they are synonymously known as chocolate lily and checker lily. This particular one is particularly lovely because as you look into it, you can see this deep chocolate colored petals, and then there's this flecks of yellow on it. And then we're in a spot here that have more of this flower than any other place I've seen. I have stood right in one spot right along in here, and I've counted over 100 of these lily plants right from where I was standing. The first thing you'll see is these kind of distinctive leaves with kind of a whorl like this. They sort of come out and go to a point like that, and then they come up, and then later you get the yellow lily starting to develop, and then finally you get the whole flower. For the most part, these flowers are well guarded. You'll be hard put to find them without some protecting poison oak nearby. Fiddleneck, it has a property to it that causes the outside of the plant to grow faster than the inside, and so as a result the flower curls and it has this kind of fiddleneck appearance to the top of it. Lewis and Clark found huge patches of Camisole up there. The Camisole that we're talking about is the blue one, and that's known as the common Camas, Camassia quamish. Common Camas is very important to the Native Americans as a food source, and they would take and actually cultivate these. They had whole sort of fields that they would use a digging stick to stir it up, and then they would, in the fall, they would dig the bulbs up. They used all parts of the camas pretty much as a food source, but especially the bulbs were of value to them. I've been told that it tastes a little bit like an onion, a small onion. It looks a bit like a small onion. They would roast these. I've heard it described variously as rather bland, until it's roasted, and that seems to bring out sort of a sweet taste to it. I've also heard it said that some of it is a little bitter until it's roasted. The problem is with Camas lily, there is another Camas lily that is in a different family, but it is very highly toxic and deadly, and that is what we call the death Camas. Now there is a white variant of the common Camas that's a little bit gene or something gets in there and turns it into a white one, but it's distinctly different looking from the death Camas. So it's not easy to mix the two up when they are in bloom. But later, when you get to the bulb stage, you can't tell the difference. And they would have cases of where the natives would get poisoning, and so they would go around while it was in bloom, digging out all the death camas and throwing it away so they wouldn't get poisoned by it.